Alright, so here's going to be all the parts you're going to get with the Lee 6-Pack Pro case feeder. We're going to do install today for it. Here's the press. So first thing you want to do is take out this first Allen head bolt, because you're going to be getting a longer one with your case feeder. Okay, I've already removed mine. Whoop, don't want to lose my nut. Figures it would go in the brass bin. It's a little bit hard doing this video, so I might switch over to my tripod here at some points, especially putting this bottom brace piece in. So first piece you're going to put in is this bottom brace piece. It's going to go right on your back mounting bolt, and against kind of up tight. It'll stop you. This little brace piece here will stop you from going too far what you need. I don't have a lot to play with on that bolt, so we're going to go into the tripod here. Give me two hands back. Alright, so put that in there. I'm going to probably tighten this all up afterwards, but you'll get the idea for the install video. Gotta get that tight in there. Your next piece you're gonna want to install is so your next part you're gonna want to install is gonna be your lower slide sail. It's got the bearing installed. Just go ahead and slide that on the rail there. Should move freely on here. If it's binding on here, you might want to clean this. Probably a little bit of lubrication, you know, just to help lubricate it a little bit as it slides. Next piece is going to be your housing piece here. This is a big piece. It's going to come assembled like this. You can take the upper tube set off if you want. That's just a nut and a wrench. That might make it easier for installing. That's just 7/16 wrench. Make sure you don't lose your nut and your washer. And it just slides right off. It's going to give you a little more room to play around with up here. So make sure you line up your bearing in the groove there, and then up top, you're shooting for that open hole right here with that post, 3D printed post there, and just push down into it nicely. Line your bearing up, and you're good to go. Okay. Next piece you're going to want to install is the longer bolt for the top here. Start that in by hand. This is going to be the most time-consuming piece, especially if you got everything on your press like I do. I could take it all off, but go ahead, pause the video, and I'll get that seat. Alright, so I got that pretty much tightened down now. But just snug that up nicely. Yeah, just like that. Alright, so the next piece you're going to want to do is you're going to want to attach your pathway to the bottom brace there. It's going to come with two screws. You're going to need a screwdriver for this, and then underneath here there's two holes underneath here. They line up with this as two threaded nuts inside this 3D printed piece. So when you're putting this together, you just we'll just put that down there. You're kind of aiming for that hole, and once you tighten those in nicely, they'll snug up nice and tight. You don't have to worry about stripping plastic out because it's going into a nut in there. Once you do that, she's tight. If I take the press off the mount, tighten up my nut there. I need an Allen wrench for that. But There you go. Give her a little test. One thing I did have to do was I had to move my handle a little bit out. I had to extend it up a little bit, so you might have to as well. There's not much playroom there to mess around with, so but I can go ahead and put my tube top and my caliber selector back on. If you take that off, you just want to make sure that when you put it back on, you line it up in here for your caliber drops. This is pretty snug going into here. That way it doesn't move around on you. And that's just your washer and then your nut on top. Few turns to make it snug. Let's come back over here to the bench. So now you got your tubes and your dish. When you put your tubes in, they don't need to go in very far. Just you know, it's like what, maybe a ½ inch, if that. They don't need to be really that far. They just need to be in there kind of snugly. Should go in there pretty easily. And I try to make them all the same height up top. Try to make them all the same height right there for when they go in here. And my tripod's not tall enough for this. So I put them into here. I'm just kind of line up all my tubes and my holes. There's a nice little bevel on that piece here, so you kind of sticks them all, get them all started. Don't force it. Just kind of give it a little wobble back and forth. There is a stop in there on this piece here, so they only go so far. So then this piece here, this piece is for 9mm small base brass. This just goes up in the tube hole. Lines up like that. Just helps the small base brass drop down in the holes, go in the right direction. So if you're using this for like 223, 308, stuff like that, you really don't need it. 9mm, 380, that small base brass like that, you're gonna want that in there to get the brass going down, the tubes going the right direction. I don't use this for 40, 45. You don't need it. So, but you're good to go. She's installed and ready to rock and roll. So shouldn't take you 5, maybe 10 minutes to put it on. So, but as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But happy reloading, and we appreciate your business. Thank you.